Hello guys, welcome to today's video. It's been 1 week since I made my last video, and this video will be about the Pythagorean Theorem. So let's start. So basically, as you can see down here in the triangle over here, the Pythagorean Theorem only applies for right angle triangles, which means that all these triangles need to have a right angle in them for the Pythagorean Theorem to be applied. Now let's see what it's used for. So let's say we have a right angle triangle. Mentioned before, only applies for right angle triangles. It's the right angle, sorry it's not neat. So the first thing we need to know is that there are three parts of a triangle. The three sides each have a name. This one is called the adjacent. I'll label it as an A. This side is called an opposite. And the most important part is the hypotenuse. The hypotenuse is the line which is opposite the right angle, which is like opposite the right angle, is called our hypotenuse. I'll use a H over there to represent it. So adjacent, opposite, and hypotenuse, the three parts of a right angle triangle. So it is on these facts that we actually are going to use the Pythagorean Theorem. The Pythagorean Theorem is mainly used to find the hypotenuse of a triangle. So let's say we have the value of this side and the value of this side, but the value of this side we don't know. We can use the Pythagorean Theorem to work it out, to work out how long this one is. So the formula for the Pythagorean Theorem is a square plus b square equals c square. A, that's a b. Forget about the x and y. So the formula is a square plus b square equals c square. This is the basic formula for the Pythagorean Theorem. So c is there. So a, b, and c. So a square plus b square should equal c square. So now let's see how it works in real life. For example, let's say this is a 2 and that is a 4, and the exam question asks us to find out the length of this side. Okay, so let's just label that z. Okay, move on. So we need to find the length of z, and we have the length of this side and the length of this side, but we don't have the length of z. So to find the length of z, we need to apply the a square plus b square equals c square formula. So the first step to apply that is to mark each value with a letter. So 2, let's assume that will be the a, and 4 will become the b. So a square plus b square formula, a square plus b square equals, in this case it's z square because that is the hypotenuse. So a is 2, 2 square is 4, 4 square is 16, b square equals z square. So z square equals 20, and z equals 20. I think you know what a square root is. And the value of that is 4.47. So therefore, the length of z is 4.47 centimeters. So now, using the values of a and b, the value of the adjacent and the opposite, we have figured out the value of the hypotenuse. So while I'm deleting all of this, I'm just going to tell you a brief history of the Pythagorean Theorem. The Pythagorean Theorem was created by a Greek mathematician named Pythagoras, and he was the first one that discovered his theorem. At that point of time, this was before Common Era, a very long time ago, this Greek formula was derived. And nowadays, it's one of the most frequently used formulas in the world. Okay, another example. But this time, the question is not asking us to find hypotenuse. This time, they want us to find the adjacent. So, let's label that. That's the B, right? As I always say. That's the A. And that's the Z. Okay? No, let's not have it as Z. Let's have it as a C, not confuse you. So, formula. Please drill this inside your head. Please memorize this. Very, very important. A square plus B square equals C square. So now let's assume we have the values of A and B. We have the values of A and B. So that's a 2 and that's a 7. Sorry, that's not. We don't have that yet. Sorry. So that's a 2 and that's a 9. And we want to find the value of B. So A, B, C. Okay. So we have the value of A, we have the value of C, but we don't know the value of B. So to find out the value of B, we need to first write down the formula. First step, write down the formula. A square plus B square equals C square. Over here we already have C, so we don't need to find equal C square. We need to change the subject of the formula to make it B square equals A square minus C square. So B square, keep it over there. C square minus A square. So we're just inverting the formula to make B the subject of the formula because we already have A and C. We don't want C again. We don't want the hypotenuse to C. We want the adjacent B. Okay, so now B square, copy that down, equals C. What's C? Look back. 9 square, 81, minus A square, 4. 81 minus 4, simple maths, 77. So now basically B square equals 77, but we don't want B square. I want B. I don't want B square, so we just need to root it. Root 77, which happens to be, which is 8.77 cm. So now we have just figured out how to use the Pythagorean theorem, invert the formula to get another value that we don't want the hypotenuse this time. We want another value on the triangle, but we have two values. We just need to find the other one. So in any question, you just need to keep inverting the formula until you make the variable that you want that should become the subject of the formula. That's what makes a successful equation. After all of that, let's go back and get one last example. This time we don't have a triangle. Let's have a word problem this time. So let's have that as a hot air balloon. Sorry, bad drawing. And it's the ground. It's the ground. It's the ground level. And this is a girl over here. So they give us that she is 5 meters away, and they tell us that the hot air balloon is 7 meters above the ground. We need to, and they ask us to find out how long is it, what is the length between the girl and the hot air balloon. So we need to find out the length between there and there. Okay, so this is just a way of using the Pythagorean theorem in a word problem. You'll probably see this in your exam because a very common question this is. So yeah, first when you see this, draw all the arrows, make it all clear. So when there's the word problem and it says the hot air balloon is 7 meters above the ground, immediately, it might sound childish, but immediately draw it on your diagram. Draw the arrow and label 7 meters. And over here they say she is 5 meters from the distance at which the hot air balloon was risen. So we have to label there 5. So for further reference, there we are. So now they ask us to find out this length. So yeah, that's a right angle. Always label that. They want us to find out the length of this. Let's give that a C as usual. C. So now formula: a square plus b square equals c square. Let's give that an A. Let's label that A. Let's label that B. It can be anything. This could be A, this could be B, or this could be B. That could be A, or you could switch. But the C is always the hypotenuse, ideally. Essentially, the C is mostly the hypotenuse. So a square plus b square equals c square. A square plus b square equals c square. 49 plus 25 equals c square. And that gives us 74. So c square is equal to 74. But we do not want c square. We do not want c square. We want only c, as we can see right here. So to find c, we need to root 74. C equals root 74. And root 74, if you look on your calculator, it's 8.6. 8.6 cm. I'm running out of space over here. Okay. So you can see there's another way of using the formula. Just as soon as you get the value of c square, root it, because you don't want c square, you only want c. So now I think you have a basic understanding of how the Pythagorean theorem works. To just summarize, the Pythagorean theorem is basically using the values of the adjacent and opposite to find the length of the hypotenuse. Second tip, always include your units in the exam. When, let's say, the question gives one of its values in centimeters, always give your answers in centimeters or meters or kilometers, whichever the question specifies. And don't miss out on units because that carries marks as well. So to summarize what we've learned today, the 3 parts of a right angle triangle. Sorry, not neat. That is an adjacent, that is an opposite, and that's a hypotenuse. Okay, the hypotenuse is the main part, very important, very fancy. It's the part opposite the right angle, and the formula for the Pythagorean theorem essentially, very basically, is a square plus b square equals c square. And as long as you remember this, you will be fine. And yeah, if you graph it on if you draw a diagram of a square equals b square plus c square, the adjacent is normally the a, and the opposite is mostly the b, and the hypotenuse is always the c, because that's what we're finding out. So just don't mix up these two formulas, don't mix up these two diagrams. But yeah, this is adjacent, opposite, hypotenuse. And the way of looking at that formula, a square plus b square equals c square, is to draw this diagram where the adjacent is a, opposite is b, and hypotenuse is c. Guys, thank you for watching this video. Next week we're gonna do a bit of a higher topic above year 9, because we finished all the basic topics for year 9 already. So now we're gonna move on to year 10 topics and maybe higher. So if you have any queries, please do not hesitate to contact me via email, or please leave a comment, and please do give some topic suggestions. Thank you.